Let me take you back to first fruits. We were talking before the program. This is one of my favorite points that I argue with Jewish friends. I tell them, look, you get Shavuot, Pentecost, on the wrong day every year.
Right.
Not every year, one time in 7 by chance. It's a roll of the dice, it hits a Sunday. But in Scripture tells us in Leviticus 23 that it must be the morrow after the Sabbath or Sunday. Right. And you and I read it together before the program, and I tell you straightforwardly, you're the first Jewish man I've ever met that will discuss these two verses. It's a big secret.
It's not such a secret. I think most Jews know about this, but they simply don't care.
Why do they
Well,
pretend?
look at this, Leviticus 23:15. I'm translating here from the Hebrew. And you shall count for yourself from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you bring the wave sheaf offering. 7 complete Sabbaths they will be. That's very clear. Morrow after the Sabbath.
That's Sunday.
Doesn't take any great intelligence to know that. Sunday.
Yeah.
And then it goes on, and of course, okay, so the rabbis, the Pharisees say that Sabbath means the first day of unleavened bread. Okay, so that's a point of dispute. But let's read on. Let's read the context.
Yeah.
Until the morrow of the 7th Sabbath, you will count 50 days. The 7th Sabbath. So if the first Sabbath, they say, the Pharisees, is the first day of unleavened bread, and then the morrow after that could be Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, doesn't matter. But what's the 7th Sabbath? The 7th Sabbath has to be a Sabbath, and the day after is a Sunday.
Absolutely. I don't understand.
It's only by ignoring this verse 16, that you could end up saying it doesn't have to be a Sunday.
Well, you'd have to ignore 10 to 12 also. My King James says, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when you become in the land which I give you, and you shall reap the harvest thereof, you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you. On the morrow, after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. That's a Sunday. Then, with reference back to it from the verse you read, number 15, it says, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering.
Right.
You can't get that wrong. A 3rd grader could read those 2 verses. They get it wrong.
The way I see it is they do it on the wrong day.
Well, they do it on the wrong day, but in doing that, they get rid of the idea.
I think in doing that, they're decreeing through this feast their own authority. Because their authority to change what Scripture said.
Can you believe it?
It's amazing. If you read some Orthodox Jewish translations, rabbinic translations, they won't translate this after the morrow after the Sabbath. They'll translate it, as we were talking about before, the morrow after the feast day, or the morrow after the day of rest,
celebration.
Which isn't what it says. It
no,
says
they model the
translation.
Can you imagine, though? I mean, who took the responsibility after the people at Qumran who suffered and who copied the scrolls letter by letter their whole lifetime and made these exact copies? They feel free to erase and edit and so.
Well, they don't actually erase it. They just ignore what it says and mistranslate.
Worse.
it.